from here. Something you want to say? I will tell you this. In these territories, men will come try you. They will take from you until you are wiped clean from this land. I'm just saying that's something you might want to keep in mind.
You think?
And now we're here with the Kevin Costner. It's been a while since we've talked. It's so good to see you again.
Thank
and
you.
What an amazing movie. If I read something correctly, you wanted to do this way back in 1988?
I commissioned an idea and tried to make it in 2003 and wouldn't take. So me being a knothead, I thought, well, if they don't like one, maybe I'll make 4 more. So I spent the next, from 2012 for about 4 or 5, writing this story with John Baird. And suddenly I had 4, and everybody goes, well, Kevin, nobody wanted to see the first one. What makes it? I said, I want to see it. And I said, I make movies for people. I don't make movies for executives or people who make decisions by committees. I make something that I want to be highly original for the audience. And this summer, there's 2 movies coming that are just the beginning.
And then 2 more.
And 3 I'm shooting right now.
Wow. I just don't know. Why did you want to do this? Have you always wanted to do this?
Well,
you're the director.
My problem
you're
is
the
when I
producer?
see. My problem is when I see something, I cannot not see it. Right. So I knew I had to make this, and I wanted it. It's not that it's any more important than any other movie I've ever done, but it's very rich, and it leans heavily on women, and it's a journey.
It's about 200 years ago, 150 years ago that this takes place?
Yeah.
Civil War
yeah.
area?
You start in 1859.
That's not that long ago.
Yeah, and it isn't. But the way people had to operate, it was miles different than how we have to operate. So when we see things, we can't always lay, oh, well, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
They had to do that.
Yeah. And I was thinking the other day after we saw the movie, amazing, and I was thinking, well, I'm glad we're not, cruel like that anymore, but we still are. Look at Ukraine. Look at
No, we have
Hamas.
hardly learned anything.
We've done it all through. Look at
we
the
just
Bible.
have, and we'll just keep fighting over these borders. And I don't know, maybe men have to step aside and let women try to work some of this stuff out because it's just not working.
But it used to be if you wanted to injure someone, you had to get close to them. Now they can drop bombs.
Right.
It's a whole different ballgame.
It's different, but back then you had to arbitrate your own problems. There was no law. So the West was a highly complicated place to negotiate. We think of it black hat, white hat, way too simple, incredibly complicated.
Wow.
But if you put humanity in it and realize that your great-great-grandmothers operating back then, they were working themselves to death just to stay clean, just to feed their families. And those kind of stories can find their way into a Western. I'm going to get to the action. I promise you I'll get to the action.
Horizon is the Western movie that Kevin Costner not only stars in, but directed, produced, and was the co-writer of this film, and put up millions of his own money to make the film. From Chicago, more of my interview with this amazing man.
These people think that if they're tough enough, smart enough, and mean enough, all this will be there someday.
It's amazing how hard everybody was working. I mean, when you see that, and how did you base this on a fact? I mean,
Because everything you see happened a million times.
Okay.
Everything you see, every bully that we run into, every racist, make up reasons why you can eliminate people. We're seeing it now. Complete annihilation of populations. We're seeing it now. It's not any different back then, but try to show it, right? Yeah. And inside all this violence, also find humanity, nobility. And I do through my women, through gestures. Women are the backbone of Horizon.
The next one comes out. This one's June 28th. The next one is August 16th.
Yeah, about 6 weeks later, the second one comes out. And the third one I'm shooting right now.
You're working right now. Well, you're the director, the lead, and the producer as well. You do
Yeah.
all those things.
It kind of paid for it too, you know.
And you spent a lot of your own money.
Yeah, a lot of it.
That's everywhere.
I know.
You open up the, AP or look at the press, and it's all the things that you put your own backbone and your own money into this.
But I love my relationship with an audience, and if I made this movie for me,
Yeah.
this is the kind of movie I wanted to see, and I know that there's men and women and there's kids that I know what it's like to go to the theater and have somebody transport you. And that's what I wanted to do with Horizon is when the lights go out, somebody remembers the first time they saw Horizon was on the big screen.
I will tell you, you will not forget it. You will not forget it. One more thing before we go. You love animals. There's a lot of horses in this. And you love dogs too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, you can't have, the West was made on the backs of horses and mules and cattle and these things. This wasn't that long ago. The frontier wasn't just a land in Disneyland.
Uh-huh.
It was wild, it was dangerous, it was raw, and it was beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for all that you've done all the years. Thank you. The man, Kevin Costner, Horizon. And Kevin just got a new dog to add to his pack of 9. His name is Bob. Good boy, Bob, and good boy, Kevin. We'll be back with more on Pet Pals TV.